Hello, friends. My name is Lori. I am the daughter of Harriet, who is the daughter of Daisy, who is the daughter of Ether, who is the daughter of ancestors unknown. So, sitting here sorting some yarn after the show at Puddletown and thinking about the mess we are now in. We're all in this mess. And, thinking about how just white people don't love black people enough to get us out of this mess. That white folks love us as our mammy. We love our Oprah, right? But we don't see black people as deserving, right? We see like a white perpetrator of a crime, like a murder or drug dealers or whatever. We see them as people first who happen to do bad things. But black folks are associated with those bad things, right? Like, you remember that guy a few years ago? I think it was was it before the plague? I don't know. It was a long time ago. And so this white dude, I think he was drunk or just being disruptive at an airport. And he was getting arrested and he was yelling, "Why are you arresting me? I'm not black." Right? Right. And then I was also thinking about how this idea of white people don't love black and brown people is all those MAGA heads at the GOP convention who had these signs saying, like, deport people. They were giddy. They were giddy in their hate. They loved this. They loved being hateful. And I have a feeling like a lot of those people, like their grandparents, were the people folks who were getting at lynchings, right? Thousands of people would gather for a picnic, right? And they would take pictures and souvenirs. Yes, they did. It's a thing. And I want to say to those people, a lot of those people, "Oh, I'm not racist," or "racism doesn't exist anymore," or whatever that is, right? And so I want to say to those people, I have this magic pill. If you take this magic pill, when you look in the mirror, you still see yourself. You're just, who you think you are. Your family sees you for who you are and still loves you, whatever. When you walk out that door, you look like a tall, thin, 22-year-old black man. Or woman. Or black person. We'll just say black person. I don't know what I'm talking about. So the rest of the world sees you as looking like a black person. But you see yourself as your regular old white people self. Would you take that pill? I don't think so. I think you know what it's like and are not, like, if you really love people, if you really loved black people, you'd be like, sure, I'm willing to take that risk, because it's a risk, right? So let's see, what did I write in my notes here? So I've been reading this book by Austin Channing Brown. I'm Still Here. Black Dignity in a World Made for Whiteness. And is that straightforward? You never know if it's backwards or whatever. This is a really good book. So I've got my little notes in here too, along with my knitting, my yarn. And she says that doing the work. So she works for Christian organizations doing social justice work and stuff like that. So it's a lot of it is framed around Jesus-y Bible stuff, but anybody can read it. It's very relevant to everything. So she says the work isn't just tedious, it can be dangerous for Black women to attempt to carve out space for themselves, their perspective, their gifts, their skills, their education, their experiences, in places that haven't examined the prevailing assumption of white culture. The danger of letting whiteness walk off with our joy, our peace, our sense of dignity, and self-love is ever present. This is what I'm talking about. Trying to go to fiber festivals or even, the guilds, spinning, knitting, quilting, whatever, crafting guilds, and showing up with my Black self, trying to carve out space for myself and having people be like, not having it. So what else does she say? She says whiteness constantly polices the expressions of Blackness allowed within its walls, attempting to accrue no more than what's necessary to affirm itself. Whiteness wants enough Blackness to affirm the goodness of whiteness, the progressiveness of whiteness, the open-heartedness of whiteness, it's the open-heartedness of whiteness that's likes a trickle of Blackness, but only that which can be controlled. Right? Our only chance at dismantling racial injustice is being more curious about its origins than we are worried about our comfort. More often than not, my experience has been that whiteness seeks love as a prize it is owed, rather than a moral obligation it must demonstrate. I need a love that is troubled by injustice. So, people upset that Michael Brown's body sat in the road for hours in the hot sun. There's a lot of white people who really didn't give a shit about that. And she's saying, please give a shit. So, and the other thing I was thinking of was the white people, it's usually a white woman that they get to do these, in these lawsuits, right, for affirmative action. They say, well, I didn't get, somebody took my place. I didn't get, stop doing that. I didn't get my place in grad school or wherever, as if it's not just the place. It is my place because Black and brown people don't belong there or whatever, Anyway, there's like a million examples I could think of. But so read this book if you are ready to learn to love Black and brown people and are ready to be challenged. Read this book.